Okay, so the last of our three equations that make up this DSGE model is the equation governing the interest rate, RT, and we're going to basically explain it in a very intuitive, simple way, and in the textbook they don't do much more than this, but it does kind of make sense. So the way we're going to think about this thing is that central banks are going to set the interest rate higher when they expect that the inflation rate will be higher tomorrow, or alternatively that the output rate will be higher tomorrow. Okay, so how does that work? If you kind of think about the way it works in the real world, if I think the economy is sort of heating up, it's overheating, then the central bank wants to raise the interest rate to sort of cool down the economy, right? And if, on the other hand, if we have a slowdown in economic activity, then the central bank wants to lower the interest rate, okay, to sort of stimulate the economy. This particular rule, this forward-looking rule, under some assumptions that can be the optimal rule for central banks, okay? And there's really not much else to say about this equation, except for what I've written here, which is, this is kind of what I already said. If we think that inflation is going to be higher, we're going to raise the interest rate. If we think that output's going to be higher, we're going to raise the interest rate. One issue is that you only have one tool, one interest rate, and you have two objectives, right? They want to keep the inflation rate under control and then also keep the economic output under control, right? So, this is actually an issue recently with central banks because many of them actually have a mandated interest rate. So in the United States, it's 2%. You're supposed to have 2% inflation. I said interest rate. They have a mandated inflation rate. So you're supposed to have 2% inflation every year. And it's been very hard to do that. So even as the economy has been very hot, right? So for the last several years, the economy has been performing very well relative to trends. So maybe relative to its steady state level, it's heating up a lot, but yet inflation is very low. So it creates a difficulty for the central bank because they have two objectives, right? They want to sort of cool down this economy that seems to be too hot. So that makes them want to raise RT. But on the other hand, they want to increase the amount of inflation to hit their target. So that makes them want to lower RT. So they're in this situation that's very difficult. Okay. So that's not exactly here or there, but it's just an observation about this equation. And then finally, we have this random white noise shock. Okay. I think I only have this one slide on this third equation. Let's see. Yeah. So this was very short, but I want to keep I want to keep each of these clips related to only one topic, so I'm actually just going to stop it there. I realize this was only maybe 1 minute, but there you go.